Hey, my name is Pedro. I work for the Center for Aquatic Sciences at Venture Aquarium. Thank you for coming today. What is your name?
My name is Arielis Vicente. I am a longtime North Camden resident. I was born and raised here.
Ah, that's very nice. So, how long have you been a Camden resident?
I I'm turned 18 last year and I'm coming up on 19 years this October. So I've been here since I was born. I lived on Erie Street for a long amount of time before I moved to River Avenue, but then I immediately moved back over here after my mom's passing, and I've been basically a long time resident. And I've seen it through all the changes that it has done, including the North Neighborhood Plan as well.
I like that you mentioned that. So, with the changes that you've seen, would you like to explain any changes that you really like?
Some of the changes that I really like is I noticed that there is a lot less gang violence that there used to be in the block. I remember growing up, 4 years old, I had to run to my house because right at the corner store there's a shooting. I shouldn't have to be the only 4-year-old that understands that a shooting means danger. When that had happened, all the kids just stayed on the street like nothing happened, like it was an everyday thing, and it shouldn't be an everyday thing. But thanks to North Neighborhood Plan, a lot of things have changed. There's a lot of less violence. Everything seems like it's coming back to normal. You notice a lot less crime rate, um, less drug activity. Sure, we still have it, but it's calmed down some from when I've grown.
That's very true. That's very true. And it's sad that some kids really grow up like thinking that's normal, and it really shouldn't be like that. And with your group here at the garden, what's something at the garden that really has changed and affected the community?
Something that I noticed the garden has done for people in the community is that it brings a sort of happiness and joy, especially during the pandemic, because you have all the hardships that are happening. For example, my mother passed away in October, which was right when the pandemic was starting.
Mhm.
So not only was I depressed because I had just lost my only remaining parent, it was just me and my brother, and then Miss Jackie adopted us, even though she's my aunt, and she introduced me to the North Camden Community Gardens. And so from there, I volunteered with her, and I've helped her with some other programs, and I noticed that there is a lot of things that isn't shown on the news about North Camden. Like there's all these pretty gardens, all these fun activities that they hold. And when I was growing up, I was 17, 16 when she adopted me, but growing up between those 16 years, I never knew any of this was happening. And I come here and they say this garden has been active for like 3 years. That's absurd. It's ridiculous. How do I, a North Camden resident, a long time born and raised North Camden resident, not know about such beauty that's happening? It's because they don't show the positive things on the news about North Camden. Oh, North Camden is having a beautiful garden event on so and so day. Please come, bring your family. They're giving out this, they're giving out that. They're helping people with their groceries in the time of need. No, North Camden is the most high rated drug populated area. North Camden has such and such shootings on this week. They've had 2 shootings. They only report the negative aspects of North Camden, but they never show the positive ones. And it's infuriating as a resident because growing up, that is what influences your kids. Um, just adults alone don't just watch the news. I watched the news with my parents before I went to school to check the weather or see the funny bits to have on TV, but I don't see anything positive besides that. And when they do show the happy bits, it's stuff from Philadelphia, it's stuff that's happening in New York, nothing about Camden.
Can I ask you a question? Have you noticed any change in people coming to the garden in the past few years? Do you see more people, or
I
is it the
see a
same
lot
people?
more people actually. Um, my there's actually photos of my mom going to one of the previous gardens, Third and Erie, that I hadn't even known that there was a garden there, or that she was going to that garden. But there's pictures of her like picking cucumbers. There's pictures of her watering plants, and it's like seeing this. I don't know. It kind of like fills my heart because my mom loved gardening, and I know she definitely would have loved the area like this to be here constantly. And I've noticed that during our Saturday programs that we have with CLHI, people come to the garden. For example, we have teens. You think they wouldn't enjoy the garden, right?
Mhm.
It's a garden, you're messing with dirt, plants, bugs. We have 2 volunteers that have come to this garden for volunteer hours, 8 hours, that's it. They filled those up in 2 Saturdays.
Wow.
It's August now. Do you think they left?
No.
They haven't. They keep coming, and they're persistent to come here because they made friends here. They made positive connections here. They're like, I want to go to La Esperanza because I want to see my friends. I want to see the stuff that we grew from the seed to harvest. I want to see the positive changes that are being made here.
Cool. Awesome.
So, with the garden in your community, do y'all go to people in North Camden to bring them together since the news don't do it?
We do. So, like I said, I work with CLHI, North Camden Community Development, and I do participate in the outreach team. And what I do, I literally go with my supervisor, door to door to door to door to door, with a flyer in hand, with information. We work with La Esperanza. We work with the Rock Garden. Would you like to be notified of the events that we have? Would you like to have green spaces? We help take surveys. We did about over 100 surveys in the North Camden community area, and a lot of them said they wanted more parks, more recreational places. They want safe places for their kids to play. And it's amazing because you see that this is making an impact because they visited this garden once or twice and they want more of it. And it's really nice because nowadays it's just all that the city has become is a monopoly with all technology. All there is tech. Everyone's on their phones, computers. I can't remember last time I saw someone hold a book willingly. that the teacher didn't say, get off your phone, pick up a book, read the book. Yeah. No. We have book arcs here that are being installed. I know I saw a place on Federal Street in Camden. The book arc is empty over there because people are taking the books. Over here, people may not take too many of the books, but they do come here for the gardening experience. All that over there didn't grow by itself. Overall, we've collected, I think, about 65 green onions, 61 tomatillos, 5 summer squash, a couple of cherry tomatoes. We collected 5 potatoes, everything that was made from the seed to harvest by volunteers, by residents, by everyone that comes from this community to come help out.
That's true. And here I see a lot of plants. I want to know, how do y'all typically water all these plants?
So the way that we usually water these plants is with our cistern, which is located in the back area. What it basically does is it collects rainwater for us to use, because why pay for water when you're getting it for free from nature to help nature out? You know, on the days that it's really hot and it's not raining, you have rainwater collected up that could have gone to waste, and then you have it stored for another day. You just put a watering can right underneath the spout, fill it up, you start planting. And then we even have residents that volunteer to water us. When they see that it's an especially hot day, they'll contact our supervisor, Miss Jackie, and say, hey, Miss Jackie, do you mind if I water the plants in La Esperanza Garden? We go like, go ahead. It's not a place just for us. It's a place for everyone in the community. Feel welcome and come participate. We encourage that. We love that. We want to see that.
I like that. And I have another question. When it storms heavy and rains are just pouring, does it negatively affect the garden?
Not really. Some cases possibly, because there is the chances that it can wash away new seedlings that we have just planted. But typically on days like that, it's beneficial for the plants because they get all the water they need. And sometimes if you mulch your plants, the mulch will actually help store up the water and help spread it evenly throughout the day, and it'll keep the plants from drowning. And then when it's a hot day, so say you have the storm, the next day it's a heat wave like we had previously experienced during the beginning of the month. It was storms and then heat waves. The storm water from the morning would be saved, and the plant would use it to restore itself during the heat wave so it doesn't burn from heat stress.
I would also think that the green spaces here, just having grass and all, keeps a lot of the water out of the street that causes flooding.
Yeah, a lot of the foliage that we have here does help collect the rainwater. Not everything necessarily needs a rainwater garden, although that is beneficial. We have a lot of plants here that are making better use of the water.
Yeah.
And then the benefits of having our green space here is that some of our plants, such as our sunflowers towards the beginning of the gate, actually help remove pollutants from our aquifer that is beneath us.
Awesome.
And basically what it does is it takes out things such as lead, it takes it sunflowers take out lead from the ground and from the water, so it purifies the drinking water that the aquifer is for.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, with y'all group, have y'all ever been to Pine Point Park and seen the Delaware River and see the progress of the Delaware River?
I believe I've been to the Delaware River. I did have the chance of going over there and kayaking because my little cousin Diego wanted to go kayaking. But my aunt was nervous to let him in the water by himself, so I went with him.
How did you feel going out?
I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack because I'm like, this boat is gonna tilt. This boat's not gonna hold me. I'm gonna drown. And I go on there, and I'm like, okay, I got the boat stabilized. I'm fine. I won't fall in. We nearly fall in because Diego's paddling too fast. But like once we get the balance and we get into the rhythm of it, I'm like, this is actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful experience. And then when we're going out into the water, we see all the green space that's around there that we didn't know was like towards the mastery area. We see abandoned boats that are there, and it's a fun experience because you feel like you're like exploring an unknown space, and it's like an adventure. It's like,
but it's still Camden.
It's still Camden. It's fun.
That's
it's funny because you think you wouldn't have that much fun or find a fun space in Camden because, like I said in the beginning, they don't promote stuff like this, and it's such a shame because then you have people that miss out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I told people I went kayaking, they were like, you went in that water? Yes, I went in that water, and I had a fun time in that water.
Would you go again?
I would go again, yes, I would.
Yeah.
I hope I get the chance to.
Yeah.
So, with saying that, have you ever brought friends to areas in North Camden that they never knew about?
Yes. One of my friends that I grew up with, Samadi, I had told her about some of our events in the beginning. So I had told her about Block Supporter Initiatives when they were doing, I believe it was a Mother's Day event where we were doing styrofoam roses to show how to recycle. So basically what we did is we made, out of styrofoam and paper plates, we made roses, and we use it to decorate the garden, the rock garden over at 3rd and Byron. And she never noticed that there was a garden there, and I didn't either a few months prior before that. And then she looked at the garden, and she looked at me, and she's like, this is a fun activity to do. I didn't know there was a garden over here. And I have family all around this neighborhood, and they haven't even noticed it. They didn't even tell me this was a garden over here. I'm like, I know, right? It's fun to have a nice place to go instead of the parks, or instead of having to go outside of Camden to find a nice place to go and have fun. It's such a nice scenic area that you could just sit and relax because they do have a bench over there, and you can look at the plants, you can harvest plants because it's also a community garden. You don't have to ask permission. You can literally harvest, and if you want, you can plant over there too.
So the opportunity to get out on the water at Pine Point, and then the fact I think you'll be doing some stuff at Mastery Charter School with their gardens, which is right there as well. Do you think maybe you can convince some people to come down to Pine Point Park to do some more things?
I've been telling the students at Mastery and some of the other volunteers that I work with, have you gone kayaking over here? Have you done this at Cooper's Point Park? Or Palm Point Park. There's like a lot of fun activities over there. There's not just the park. Apparently you can go kayaking over there. I know that I used to see people with their boats or like jet skis out in the back of where the Delaware River is, but I'm like, I don't know where those people are getting in the water from.
Yeah.
How are they getting in the water back there? I thought that was a closed off area that nobody was supposed to be in.
Yeah, and I think we're trying to change that to get the word out so we can get people out. Okay, go ahead. You know, what do you love about Camden? I mean, you're here and you've lived here. There must be so much to love about it because you live here.
What I love about Camden, I personally love how much it has changed. Because, like I said earlier, when I grew up, there was lots of drug activity, lots of crime. There was lots of gun shootings and violence. You couldn't walk too far without some drug addict asking you for money or asking you for food. You know, sometimes it's okay to give you food, but they'll try and take the receipt back in to get the money for the food so they can go buy more drugs. But I like how it has changed a lot over the years. We have police now patrolling in our areas, and it helps bring the crime rate down because people are more conscious that there are police out here patrolling and doing their job. That there's no more. I can't remember the last time I heard anything about a gang, or any gun shootings.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Right.
I was thinking that too.
It was like,
Yeah.
I remember growing up when I was a little kid, my biggest fear was 4th of July and New Year's, because with all the gang violence that was happening, you can't tell firework from gun shooting. Because I
Yeah.
did have a family friend whose dad got shot during July as the fireworks were going off. And then, like, that has made me paranoid. But now that I see the improvements that are happening in North Camden, I'm not as scared when things like that happen. And then I think about the positive things to, like, wash it away. Like, that's just fireworks. It can't be gunshots, because we are cleaning up our areas. We are having more gardening, more fun activities, more positive things happen in North Camden. So I gotta stop thinking about that stereotype that Camden is bad. And then it's true, because Camden is beautiful. Camden has changed a lot over the years. I remember back 5 years ago, I had seen my mother watching a video that said Camden is the #1 worst city that is filled with abandoned buildings, filled with drug, has the highest crime rate, and is overall just dirty. And it's not. Where are we now? We're at a beautiful garden space that not only has a nonprofit organization help build, but the community and volunteers and people from North Camden help take care of it. They help water it, they help put seeds in it, they help weed it, plant in it, they help do everything in this garden, and they want to see more. We've got positive reviews. I want more gardens, I want more parks, I want more safe places. I love the change that is happening in my community.
And I have one more question that ties in with not just Pine Point Park, but any waterfront area. If you had access to the water and you could do something there, I know we're taking people out kayaking, but we're thinking of fishing and other things. What kind of things would you like to do near a waterway?
Near a waterway? I think I never really thought about it, possibly because, like I said, I didn't even know we had access as residents.
Yeah.
I thought that was more of a thing that, you're gonna get fined by the city if they catch you trespassing over there. You're not supposed to be back there. Why are you back there?
Yes.
So it never really occurred to me what I would do if I had the ability to go into places like that. But with the kayaking, I would say more kayaking, because I did have a fun experiencing. I had a fun time experiencing that. Fishing sounds like it would be a lovely idea. Have fishing lessons, catch the fish,
Yeah.
release them back
Yep.
into the water. And you get to learn fun facts about the water, fun facts about the fish. You get to go on nice kayaking trips. There's like a lot of possibilities to make it, to work into the waterways over there. And
Maybe a nice contemplative garden would be nice.
Maybe a nice garden, a nice garden trail that leads into the water. You have your hardy plants that soak up a lot of water, so they don't die from being drowned.
Yeah.
But something to make a beautiful entrance going into there. Like we make a nice little flower trail going to the back, and then you have like a nice smoothed out ramp where you put your kayak in, have a dock to the side where you can fish. Open it. I think another reason why it has been more noticeable is that there's nothing there that says, hey, this is a garden, this is a park area too, you have access here. And I think that's another thing. People don't know that they have access back there, because there's not a sign that says, oh, you can come kayaking, you can come fishing. It's not really known unless people research it and look it up. So I think it really needs like more signs there, maybe like a more open entrance, prune back the trees a little bit to show the water, and but basically put something there that lets people know you can come in here.
It's okay to come here.
It's okay to come here and kayak or to fish or have a picnic with your family and look at the water and see the stars.
Point. Yep. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the interview. Pedro, any final words?
No, that would be all. I want to say I love their answers and just the way you detailed everything. That was really good.
Yeah. Okay.